committee who I'll ask to introduce themselves.
Good morning. My name is Mark Whittaker. I'm the councillor for Stocksbridge and Abbeydale. Thank you.
Maruf Ralph, Netherhead and Sharrow.
And we have a number of council officers working with us this morning. Could I ask you to introduce yourselves, please?
Morning, Samantha Bond, Legal Advisor to the Subcommittee. That was rude. I'm Jane Goff, I'm licensing, here to read the report this morning.
Sam Walston, Democratic Services Officer.
I'm Rebecca, I'm just here to do the webcasting.
And could I ask you to just confirm your names and who you are, just for the record, please? And if you could use the microphones in front of you, given the acoustics of this room and the state of my hearing, that would be appreciated. But if you switch it off afterwards, because if we have too many on, none of them work. So it's a wonderful system.
Yeah, so it's Robert Jordan representing the applicant.
Good morning. My name is Fayez Aryan.
And again, welcome everyone to the subcommittee this morning. There is a set process for these hearings, which is in the papers, and if you've got the same set we have, which you don't always, it's on page 51. And it says at point 4 of there that the solicitor to the committee will outline the procedure. So Sam, could I ask you to outline the procedure to be followed today, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And I've managed to lose the procedure already. So you've got a copy of the papers in front of you, which is good. Bear with me, sorry. I don't know why I need to read it because I know it off by heart anyway, but away we go. So yeah, page 51 of the papers, right at the back of the pack. So the licensing officer, who's Jane this morning, will introduce the report. If there are any questions concerning the report, we can raise them then. So if there's anything that needs updating or changing since, and we can get that amended for the record. There are no outstanding representations from responsible authorities, and it's not looking like the interested parties have attended. So essentially, we'll just take those as read in the report, and we'll head straight over to the applicant to detail the application, provide any clarification on it, and respond to the representations made in the report today. Members and officers will have an opportunity to ask you questions. You'll then be given the opportunity to sum up the application if you wish, just to leave us with any final thoughts before we take the options from the licensing officer as detailed in the report. Members will then go into private session and take legal advice to consider the application, so you are welcome to wait around and we can give you that decision a little bit later on this morning. The decision of the licensing committee will be given in accordance with the requirements of the Licensing Act 2003 and regulations made thereunder. Anytime during the hearing, members can request legal advice, so we can do it in open session as we are now, or closed, where we'll just ask you both to pop next door. We'll have a chat and then invite you back in and let you know what was discussed. The hearing is public this morning. It's being live webcast and recorded. So if at any point we determine that should be paused, we'll deal with that as and when we get to it. But I don't envisage any issues with that, with this application. And I think that should be everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. So could we have the report then, please, Jane?
You can. Good morning, everybody. So this is the licensing subcommittee to determine the grant application for premises licence for 166 The Common, Ecclesfield, S35 9WN. So the application was submitted by Arian Stores Ecclesfield Limited on the 23rd of September. You can find a copy of the application at Appendix A in the report. So the application is for a small off-licence Premier shop. Initially, application was submitted for the hours of Monday to Saturday, 6 AM till midnight, and Sunday, 8 AM till 10 o'clock. So the reasons why the referral is here today is due to it's been a contested application, so we've had 2 local residents and a local resident's petition submitted against this application. As Sam's already said, we've not got those representations here today, so they're in the pack at Appendix B if you wanted to see the reasons for their objections there. During the consultation period, the applicant has agreed conditions with South Yorkshire Police and the Environmental Protection Service, including a reduction in licensed hours. So these agreements on the hours can be found at Appendix C of the report. So everybody has been invited today to the hearing. We've all got copies of the hearing notices at Appendix D if you wanted to see those. I'm just going to scoot through to Section 8, which is the appeals. So the Licensing Act 2003, Section 181, Schedule 5, makes provision for appeals to be made by the applicant and those making representations against decisions of the licensing authority to the Magistrates' Court. So the recommendations this morning are that members carefully consider the representations made and take such steps as the subcommittee consider appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Have members got any questions on the report at all? Does the applicant have any questions on the report? No. Then it's over to you to detail your application and to respond to the concerns which have been expressed.
Okay, so the hours asked for, we feel very modest for a convenience store, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m, we understand. And we understand, but I'm not 100% sure, I think Morrison's and Aldi are the two nearest stores, and I think they're open until 10 p.m. to sell alcohol. But I couldn't swear to that. That's what seems to be advertised. There's a petition, it appears, but it doesn't seem to have got the light of day. So I can't comment on the petition because we don't know if it's not been validated. So we couldn't really comment. We don't think that can be given a lot of weight as it's not really appeared. The existing issues regarding alcohol are nothing to do with this applicant. He hasn't started selling alcohol yet, and we're not sure what stores, if any, are causing a problem, or whether it's just a general problem in some of the areas. But he's got a good training program here, which I seem to have mislaid somewhere, but we have got it somewhere. Oh, here we go. So he's got to cover all things that hopefully address their issues with staff training, such as ID procedure, so protection of children from harm, proxy sales to avoid where adults may be trying to buy alcohol for children. They may be around the corner or in the near vicinity, so you'll have a good keep an eye on that. And there's a section on that. We're quite happy to hand this to the committee if they want to look into detail. It goes in quite a bit of detail on that. And then groups of people purchasing, if there's a group of 10, or say 10 or 4 or 5, that one person comes and buys alcohol, but he's with a group of another 4 or 5 that don't look 25, then the whole group have to be advertised, because that could be a proxy sale. And in consequences of underage sales, unlimited fines and punishments, etc. This goes on and on. And so we've got, just sorry, bear with me. Don't want to bore you with all of it. And then how to look for ID, like UK driving licence and the passport, what to look for on ID, because the police have asked for that to be part of the training. So what to look for to make it a genuine ID, such as the driving licence, passport, and pass cards. Check the hologram, the date of birth, and you can tell them if you want if they've got any queries about that. So his experience, he's been working in shops for 15 years.
Yeah.
So
personal license, never had problems.
How to recognise street drinkers, don't serve street drinkers, or known drunks or known street drinkers. It goes on as a refusal register, an instant book, and then to train staff on the licensing hours. In fact, there's the agreement with the police, which is in there, so I won't repeat any of that. But there are rather stringent conditions agreed with environmental health, because I think there was a big thing about the noise of the extractors at the back. But it's
absolutely no noise at
it's
all.
newly fitted, isn't it?
Yes,
So it's
modern.
modern. But even so, unusually, conditions have been agreed with environmental health that he has to produce a report, it would appear, before he can start selling alcohol anyway. So about the sound. So fairly stringent conditions. So he's got to go back to them. If he were to grant the licence, he's still got to go back to environmental health to get these conditions sorted before he can sell. So I wasn't involved in the original application, but never seen quite such stringent conditions, but there you go. So the objections, I hope that deals with the objections, but I mean, the objections were fairly speculative, related to fears and concerns of issues rather than evidence-based, fairly generic in the content, and as you know, paragraph 9.12 of the revised guidance sets out that the police, environmental health and the licence department are experts in their own field, and after agreeing conditions with environmental health and police, there is no responsible authority objecting to the grant of the licence. So the committee will have due regard to guidance 182. The alcohol area will be in a separate area, and there's a fairly narrow bit to go through to that area. It'll all be under CCTV, but the sign will be there that's only under 18s are not allowed in that area where the alcohol is sold, unless they're accompanied by an adult. So that will be the policy, and you can see the entrance to that from your till, can't you? Yeah. So that's what I think you've told me. Yeah. So we think, to impose conditions to prevent the harm, we think, well, it should be self-evident that the harm will occur. We don't see any evidence that harms raised in objections will occur. But obviously, it's not in his interest to upset the locals, because hopefully they'll be the... So obviously, if they came across any issues, he's quite happy for them to come in and say, look, this is the issue we've come across. Yeah. This is happening. Stamp on it, deal with it straight away if there's anything were to occur. But you've got a lot of experience, haven't you? Yes. 15 years, I think. So I think that's really, with the training, instant book, noting any crimes and disorder, well, the conditions that are in the pack that he's agreed with police and environmental health, so I won't go through all those. And on the basis of that, we think should be granted. There's only only two, it's fair enough, 2 people have got concerns, but there's 2 objections, and so hopefully the rest will be happy with the application. I think that's about it really to start with.
That's great then. I'll open it up to questions then now. I wonder, Maruf, is there anything you'd like to start us off with?
None at this moment in time, thank you, Chair.
Mark, is there anything you'd like to ask?
Yes, just considering that you're close to, is it 2 supermarkets? Presumably they're going to be selling alcohol a lot more cheaply than you can manage, economies of scale. I absolutely understand that. So what sort of a market do you think you're selling to that isn't already going to go to the supermarkets? How are you going to sell any if it's more expensive than the supermarkets?
Well, it's local, and I mean, some people don't always want to go in the supermarket. Yeah. It's a bit of a hustle bustle in there, isn't it? I mean, you go in the convenience store, and it's not that usually that many people around in a convenience store, and it's a bit of a, lots of people like the smaller shops, a bit of a chat, get to know people, and some people don't want to go to the supermarkets. I mean, there's no attempt to compete with Morrison's. I mean, I bought a bottle of wine there the other day, reduced from £10. I got my club card, it was £6, and I got 25%, and it was £4.50. I mean, but it's fine, it's a decent bottle of wine. It came down to £4.50. So not an alcoholic or a street drinker, but it's a different market, isn't it? You can't compete, and you wouldn't want to compete really, but it's just fair prices really, and that's it really.
And also, we have this. So that's a good thing as well. Customers like cold drink. So this one is something new to the area as well. So that's.
Thank you very much for that, yes.
Just a couple of things from me. You say you've got 15 years experience in the business and you haven't previously had any problems. Why do you think you haven't had problems? Why do your premises, as opposed to others, not get issues such as the ones that people are
We never give a chance like any underage sale or anything. We buy from Booker, Parfait, these are the main seller. We don't buy from nobody. So we never had problem. I never had like always ID, so train staff, that's it.
And realistically, what sort of percentage of your turnover do you think alcohol will be? Is it going to be a big part of the business, or is it just, you know, an aside? What are you looking at from alcohol?
Hopefully it should be like maybe 15 to 20%, but the thing is customers want everything from one place. They don't want to come buy bread and milk from me and then go some Morrison to buy the can. If I don't have that, then I will have not business. So it's just something like bring customers, maybe they buy one item of the alcohol, rest the other things. So it's really important for the business to have a alcohol license.
I think your representative touched on this briefly, but obviously you've seen from the objections that this is a community. People have been living there a long time. It is a good, strong local community. And I wonder, as a new local business, what are your plans, if you have any, to engage with that community and sort of relate to them and, you know, just engage with local people?
I made a brand new, beautiful shop, one thing, and I have already got, bin for littering, so I will not cause no problem to the community. I will make sure if I got the license, I strictly control. I will use the Challenge 25, buy from the companies, and I will not make no problem to the community. They shouldn't be concerned. They have to give me a chance, and they see. If they have problem, they should come to me. I'm happy to help them. I'm there to be friendly and also to do business. I'm not there to causing problem to the people. And also this property was very scruffy, very bad, so I bought it, I made it nice, and now I'm part of Premier. Premier is Booker. Booker is really a good company, is part of Tesco as well. So we have a lots of promotion offers, which is good for the community. It's not bad. We have on everything, not just for alcohol. We have on groceries. We have on everything. We have good offers. So I'm going to be really helpful to the community, not at all harmless or anything.
And just to focusing on one of the things you said, if there are concerns then within the community, should you get a licence, is there a simple route in which those concerns can be raised with either yourself or a representative of the shop?
I'm available there. They can come to me. If any problem, I will sort it out. It shouldn't be no problem at all. Because if I have licensing has the rule. You need to use the Challenge 25. As soon as customers come in, if they buy alcohol, we check. If it's drunk, we never give them because we don't want to cause them more trouble. If it's underage, we never give them because it's not good to risk your license for just for £10, £5. So there should be no problem at all.
And I think just finally from me, the CCTV you're putting in, is there some external CCTV as well, or is it just internal?
It covers the front of shop and it covers the back of the shop just in case somebody not breaking in. And then it covers the whole of the shop and it got sound recording as well.
And would you be prepared to share that for general incidents that maybe happening in the vicinity if the police were after that footage, not necessarily directly connected to your shop, but if it suggested that there are issues in the area, would you be prepared to share your CCTV?
Yeah, you have to bear in
100%.
mind. You have to bear in mind GDPR rules. There has to be a correct request, so you can't just give it to the local councillors or anything. It has to be a specific request. Best to check with the police that they, as I understand with the ICO, has to be a specific request for the CCTV.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about just.
Usually
other than that, I'm sure you'd be happy to.
Usually in my experience, is always police is coming asking for cameras when it's like some problems in the area or somebody's had a fight or things like that. Nobody else come never to ask for CC camera. But it's available for 1 month recorded, is always there.
Yeah, obviously wasn't saying, just let everybody view it. But if there is an incident in the area, you'd be prepared to share it through.
But I have to be careful because sometimes the clerks go off and say, I've handed my CCTV, you know, to somebody who's just walked in and something's stolen down the street. So you can't do that. As far as I know, you can't do that, but I'm not an expert on it.
Yeah.
I just be careful.
We always, with the police, we're always happy to share. And sometimes they do come like, look, somebody has had a fight with this. We want to see if this person was in the area. So when we go to court, we say, look, you are in this area, you are shopping. We always share with them. We're happy to share with them.
Thanks, that's great. Maroof, is there anything you'd like to come in with?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just a number of questions in regards to some of the objections that have been put through. There is a claim of antisocial behaviour. Are you aware of any around that particular shop?
What is it? What?
There's a claim in some of the objections that there is antisocial behaviour around to where your shop is currently located. Are you aware of any antisocial behaviour around that area?
I'm just new to it. I've not seen anything problem there.
Do you see a
Excuse me,
link to
I need to say something. You know, so, I think they have an objection. They're saying that I'm close to park. Morrison is closer to the park than me. So they're saying I will cause problem to the park. If Morrison is not causing problem to the park, I'm far away from the park.
That's fine. That answers my next question then. So I'll move on to the one after that then. Do you see a link to the claim that a public park nearby will lead to any additional antisocial behaviour?
I think this is not true, that the park and my shop does not cause no problem. If we follow the rules of how to sell to alcohol, to who to sell to alcohol, that doesn't make difference. So that is the main thing. We should follow the rule of licensing. If all this time Morrison is not causing trouble, I will not cause no problem as well. I got a business, Morrison got a business.
Thank you. And there's a claim of extra additional patrols by the police. Are you aware of any extra patrols being run by the police in the area that are due to antisocial behaviour stemming from the use of alcohol?
Yeah, it's only been open a week.
I've just been there a week.
So, but I think
It's quite, I've been there a week and it's quite, I've not seen any problem, any fighting, anything. I think this is not true.
Thank you.
you can liaise with the community support officers. Yeah, liaise with them. If I'm sure they'll come in if they've got any issues. Hopefully they'll be calling in anyway, but they haven't called in yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Just a few more questions then. Do you agree or disagree that youth loitering can be intimidating for residents, especially those that have been drinking?
Have been drinking from this store because of Challenge 25. So, but what you do is not serve them anything. If anybody's causing any trouble, you just generally don't serve them anything at all, because they'll go somewhere else, hopefully then, and then my advice would be, if they don't go anywhere and they're just silly, talk to the community police, who should know these people. There's generally, in an area, you get sort of age group 15, 16, 17, and if they're normally well known, and the community service, if they've got any, if they're on the ball, they just have a word with the parents, because they don't like, parents don't like it coming on the doorstep. But then you don't serve them anything anyway, do you? Then just generally suggest they go somewhere else.
Thank you. What are the opening hours for Morrison and the other supermarkets close by?
I think 7 to
6 till 10.
Well, it's till 10. I've got the licensee will know more than me, but I understand it's 7 to 10. So,
Okay, well, that was going to be my next question. Given that you've put in a request for Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to midnight, and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, just to try and placate some of the very important residents that will be living near to your shop, would you be willing to reduce your hours to those similar to Morrison's and the other supermarket if it helped to accommodate some of these concerns?
That would be very nice, yeah. If I can have it like same hours as Morrison, that would be very nice, yeah. I'm happy with that.
Well, I think he's got to settle in there.
That one. The 7 to 10 is very good.
Agreed, 8 a.m. until 8 p.m.
Yeah, but if you guys can
always.
help me to have it
Well, it's
same
already,
as Morrison,
it's already agreed. Isn't it?
that would be
8 to
very
8, so
nice.
we can't discuss that further here, can we? Or can we?
If it's possible, please, 7 till 10,
Don't think we
same as Morrison. I want to go with
No,
that one.
He's agreed 8 till 8. I think that you just
But if
set
they can
yourself
do
in.
it, they
I
might.
don't think. Yeah, I think it would go against the environmental health conditions.
If it's possible, that will be very nice of you guys.
Thank you. No further questions, Chair.
Sam, is there anything you'd like to ask?
It's maybe been slightly covered, but just in the representations, I think a lot of the concerns, especially with a lot of the community being elderly, are in terms of especially young people hanging around and causing problems. So if you were in a position where they're hanging out around your shop or outside, how would you sort of manage that?
Kindly request them, please move on from here. We don't want you around here. And it happens, you know, you just ask them, they leave, they go.
And I think you said, do you say you got 15 years experience? Same sort of thing, convenience stores?
15 years, and I did about 10 years taxi as well.
Oh, did you?
Yes, so
You're in the right
I'm
place
really,
here then.
I'm really good to know about these things, you know, how to control.
You're good with rules then?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I had 10 years of taxi as well, never had problem, no, nothing with people, you know, like, I've always had control of it.
Yeah, that's great, thank you.
You can ask whatever you wish, Mark.
Thank you. So did you say you'd only been open for a week? Yes. How's things going?
It's really good. I mean, just the customers will keep asking for alcohol, and I don't have it, which is upsetting them.
Yeah.
So that causes trouble to the business. And as I said to you before, when they're coming, like they want milk and bread and some crisp and chocolates, when you don't have, they just leave it and go, because everything is like they want everything in one place.
And you said, was it an empty premise before you took it? Yes. Had it been empty a long time?
I'm not aware of it, how long, but it was empty when I was making the business.
Right.
Yeah, it looks better than it was.
Yeah. And you're confident that opening a general food and drink shop near to supermarkets is economically viable?
It's good for the community, as I said, because I'm with Premier. Premier is like, they got thousands of shops around the UK, and it's good for customers. We are a part of Tesco as well, and we are good, cheap sometimes in lots of products, on grocery, you know, and drinks, alcohols, and everything. We are cheaper than lots of supermarkets as well, because Tesco, we are part of Tesco.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, so if there are no further questions, it's over to you to sum up and tell us any other key points you think we need to bear in mind when we make a decision on this.
Well, I think it's all really been covered, but as I understand Booker's, I think Tesco's, you're right, I think Tesco's have actually bought Booker's.
Yes.
I think they own Booker's.
Yeah.
So then but lots of general stores use Booker's.
Our
But
product
then
is,
Premier is a brand.
product got more of Tesco now.
So,
Yeah,
I don't quite understand how it's working now.
Yeah, you
So
got product,
I'll have to keep up with it.
yeah, like everything is stamp of Tesco now.
Oh, blimey.
Yes, it's part of Tesco.
Blimey. I've not
So
kept.
it's not just
I've
like
not kept up with that one
normal
myself,
shop,
I'm
it's
afraid.
a really good brand. It's
Okay,
something-
yeah, I know Bookers are involved with a lot of shop fitting, I know that, because I've had calls from the Bookers people saying about licensing and stuff, but I didn't know it's quite so involved. So I don't think we want to add any more to that, really, no.
That's perfect. So could we have the options then, please, Jane?
You certainly can. Okay, so the options open to the committee this morning are to grant the premises licence in the terms requested, grant the premises licence with conditions, or to reject the whole or part of the application.
So could I ask you to now leave the room while we take legal advice and come to a decision? And once we've made that decision, we'll invite you back in and tell you what it is. You can leave things on there. We're to be trusted. I'll keep an eye on them. Don't worry. And your representations this morning. The decision of the licensing subcommittee is to grant as applied for with the agreed conditions on the licence. Obviously, in granting the licence, the people who have put in objections can, if the licence doesn't operate to as we would expect it to, and if it does cause problems, then they can come back and ask for a review of that licence at any time, and we would look at it again and decide whether what we've granted today was the right decision. But similarly, if the licence operates without problems at some stage, you may wish to request a variation and go for the hours that you initially requested. That's entirely within your remit. Either way, I mean, I really hope that we don't see you in here sat on that side of the table. I hope it is a successful business that works as part of the community, that doesn't cause the community problems, and I wish you the best of luck in that. So that's the decision of the licensing subcommittee this morning.
Just for the benefit of the recording, if any of the people that have made representations are watching or look back on the recording, they do have the right of appeal against that decision. So everybody who's submitted representations, as well as yourself, will receive a notice following the hearing, just confirming the decision and a summary of the evidence before the committee date today. So it will be within 21 days of receiving that notice, should anyone wish to appeal, that they can do so. But hopefully, you know, everything goes smoothly and you have great success with your business. But thanks for coming today, both of you. Thank you.